समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. Today we start chapter 13. Now, the Geeta can be divided into 3 parts: 6 chapters, the middle 6 chapters, and the last 6 chapters. Somebody said that these are the 3 words of the Mahavakya, that thou art. Tattvam Masi. So now we come to the third part. Now, thou, the first 6 chapters are thou. Thou. Thou means who? You and I. The miserable, crying lot of humanity, constantly pitting themselves, constantly with some sorrow or the other. One sorrow leaves and a little bit of joy, and another sorrow starts. So, that kind of a individuality is what is addressed as thou. The second part, which is the middle 6, is that. That means what actually is the truth. So he is pointing out that great grand reality, which is the Lord himself, expresses as consciousness all over, which is that. And the third part is what connects these two. So what is it that connects these two? Is expressing as life, is, right? So here you have this chapter called The Field and its Knower, and Kshetra, Kshetrajna, and many other phrases are used. Different philosophies over the world use different words for the same thing. Over here also, there are some technical words used. The teachers generally in those days used to think that all students have learnt through Vedas, so they know these technical terms. But here Arjun, who had studied the Vedas, knew the terms, but what they really stand for is what is the clarification he is seeking from the Lord over here in the chapter. He is asking the Lord that till now Arjun has understood that he was psychologically broken, totally broken. The Lord has at least brought him to this much of an equipoise that what you are thinking is a shadow, what you are seeing is not there, and therefore pull yourself together, balance your mind, and like a true kshatriya, have the courage to face your own difficulty and not go under. But you have to stand up to it and you have to fight. So the main thing is to actually uh, take hold of your own self. And this is what this chapter is about. Now, here, this chapter is thundering the Upanishadic truths. So it goes into high philosophy, but that high philosophy is so clearly discriminative about matter and spirit. Now you can term it, in these, you can call them into 3 different things. You can say Prakriti Purush, you can say matter spirit, you can say Kshetra Kshetrajna. Now all these mean the same thing really. Okay. Now then, uh, come to this. See, the field, there is the knower, and the field that you operate in is the known. Now, one thing very clearly understand, so long as there is a knowable, there is a knower. Carefully. You cannot call yourself a knower unless there is an objective field which you know. If there is nothing to know, you are not a knower. Like giving you an example, if somebody calls himself a driver, then he has to be engaged in driving a vehicle. Only then can he be a driver. Otherwise, how does he become a driver? A swimmer has to have a field of water around in which he is swimming. Only then can he call himself a swimmer, isn't it? Eating, I am a consumer. Somebody who says I am an eater or consumer, devourer, has to be devouring something. Without the knowledge of that anything, supposing he is not engaged with the object, he is not that. So the knower and the known. If there is no known, then there is no knower. Then what is that? That is pure knowledge. That is just pure knowledge. The fact of knowledge, the ability to know without any knowable, there is an ability to know. Okay, now then, see, another thing is that only with contact, only with contact of the field, when I said only with the contact of the field, you become a knower. Similarly, unless your mind contacts an experience, you are not the experiencer. This is a very important point. Huh? Unless the mind contacts the experience, you are not the experiencer. A patient on a table who has been put under chloroform, okay? He's been put under chloroform. His mind does not contact the experience of pain. His mind does not contact the body for pain. So he does not experience pain. Got it? So it has to be, देखो, another example. There's this couple whose son was in USA. The son met with an accident and he died over there. Now the son has died and his dead body is lying there with the friends looking after. The parents had gone to a party. Those days there were no cell phones, the example I'm giving you. The parents are dancing at a party. Very happy, joyous, boisterous. This is a New Year's Eve. That son was drunk and so he made an accident and he died. These people do not know. They are not the knower because that field is not there. So the knowledge of the son's death has not contacted their mind and therefore they are dancing and they are very happy. So it is not the death of the son, but the knowledge of the death of the son which gives them sorrow. Got it? So the knower and the known have to come together. Only then can joy or sorrow touch you. If you are unaware of something, it's not going to upset you at all. You don't know. So in families it happens now. Somebody has died in the hospital. The old old mother is at home. Everybody says, don't tell mama, don't tell mama, she'll get very upset. Abhi nahi batayenge, baad mein aaram se batayenge. Don't tell her. Why don't tell her? They don't want her to go through the sorrow. So the knower and the known. So this chapter is basically dealing with the knower and the known. Okay. And dekho, Subodhananji said a sentence once very interesting. He said that दुख का अधिकार केवल अज्ञानी को है. सोच के, है ना? दुख का अधिकार केवल अज्ञानी को है. Somebody who does not know the truth or does not have this great grand knowledge of reality, he can cry or he is allowed to cry. Gurudev used to say a Vedantic student has no right to cry. That's a very hard statement. Very hard statement. He said a Vedantic student has no right to cry. And he said, even if something upsets you, go into the restroom, have a good cry, wash your face nicely, and paste a smile on your face and come out. And that smile should remain. That is what Gurudev used to say. Now, that is what overcoming what the mind has projected. Overcoming what the mind has projected. See, again, the three states of consciousness which the mind has. In a dream state, you are oblivious of the waking state. Oblivious, huh? No knowledge of the waking state. You are a different person in your dream. You may be flying in your dream. You may have sprouted wings. You may be swimming underwater in your dream, but that is not the real you. So the whole personality changes and the experience changes, and the mind is experiencing something different. So all the sorrows that you had manufactured during your waking state are not there. You are happily flying in the sky, experiencing great happiness. The knower and the known. That is the magic. You have to know clearly who is the knower. Now, then the question comes to who is the knower? You go into a dark room, see the seer and the seen. I'm again telling you, how do you see? The eye doesn't see. The instrument of the eye has got no capacity to see. So when the eye is transplanted, what do? They put it in a drone, and that drone in some liquid or whatever the doctors put the eye in is transporting the eye to a hospital where it will be transplanted in a living human being. So does the eye see on the way? Does the eye see the traffic moving and the time flying high and nothing? It's just a piece of flesh contacted by the knower. The eye can see. If the eye does not contact the knower, there is no vision. And yet the Lord says, I am not the doer. Again and again and again, the Lord has said, I am not the doer. How is he not the doer? Just like the ocean creates waves, the ocean creates foam, the ocean creates rafters, high waves, tides, but the ocean is not a doer. Electricity is not a doer. So the knower is not a doer. It helps these it helps matter to do. By its very presence, it helps matter to do. It does not move, but it makes the immovable move through its presence. Again, another example, Gurudev's example of a magnet. The magnet is pulling the iron pieces to itself, but is it really reaching out, catching hold of them and pulling them? No. The iron pieces gain movement in the presence of the magnet. Similarly, light, bulb, fan, electricity does not change. It is the same and it is not a doer. In the fridge, it is cooling. In the bulb, it is lighting. In the fan, there is movement. So it becomes what the instrument is. Similarly, your mind is the equipment, understand it. Your mind is the matter equipment charged with the knower, charged with the knower. The knower is only the giving you the power. That is why everybody's brain functions differently. The knower is not different. The knower is only one power of knowledge. That's all. Here you have a division of knower and known and then how they relate. So in this chapter, we will only be doing the knower and the known and how they are related. So if you have this clear knowledge of the knower and the known, then there is no way you can feel sorry. You can clearly see the functioning of your mind. You can clearly see why the mind is upset, why the mind is unhappy. Hmm? If somebody is standing on the road and shouting at the neighbor, do you take it on yourself and start feeling sorry? No, you don't, isn't it? You just watch it. Watch yourself from the balcony of the mind. Don't let your mind get dragged into the thing. So here it is. Now come. When I said that dukkha adhikar keval jnani ko hai, it only means that once you have the knowledge, then sorrow does not touch you or should not touch you if you really have it firmly in your mind, the knower and the known. Come to this chapter now. This is the 13th chapter. Arjuna uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetrajnyameva cha etat veditumichhami jnanam gyeyam cha keshava. So he is addressing this is Arjuna Vacha, huh? So he's addressing the Lord as Keshav. Keshav is one of the names of Lord Krishna because Keshav has come from Kesh. A person who wears his hair long is also called Keshav. You can translate it in English as the hairy one. That is also Keshav. They used to, that long hair used to be tied up nicely uh, for war so that it doesn't get into your eyes. That is also Keshav. Hmm? So here he is one of the names of Krishna amongst all his thousands of names is Keshava. And he says that, देखो क्या क्या वो कह रहे हैं. There are sets: Prakriti, Purusha, Kshetra, Kshetragya, and Jnanam, Jneyam. These are three sets. Okay, so you can write them if you like as Prakriti and against that Purusha. In English, many people call them matter and energy, but they are not really matter and energy. It is much more than matter and energy. Kshetra, Kshetragnya, and Gyan, Gyanam, Gyeyam. So here it is, see, Prakriti, matter, and Purusha, spirit. That means the energizer of matter. Also the Kshetra, the field. Prakriti is also called the Kshetra, and Kshetragnya, the knower of the field. Knowledge and that which ought to be known, these I wish to learn, O Keshava. So Arjun had already asked a question on Nirgun Sagun. in the last chapter. Here he is asking a set of questions. देखो, whenever you get a chance to ask the teacher a question, ask a question जिसमें आपके 3-4 questions आ जाएं. So that you don't have to go on taking permission that may I please sir ask you something. वो तो करना नहीं है ना, एक ही बार परमिशन मिलेगी अगर मिली. तो जब आपको परमिशन मिली ही है, तो just a string of them. So Arjun is doing the same thing. He says, now explain to me, are these different? All these Prakriti, Purukshetra, Kshetrajna and all that, are these all different, or there is a similarity to them? Please explain to me, he is asking. Now, देखो, when he has explained Sagun and Nirgun, he had come down a lot in sadhana. Sadhana के levels होते हैं. Even a villager who takes a pot of water and offers it to a peepal tree every morning and folds his hand, that is also a level of sadhana. कोई तुलसी में जल चढ़ाता है, सूर्य को अर्घ देते हैं. These are all sadhanas, right? Some people just go on a pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a very nimna koti ki sadhana. That's what Gurudev used to say. No, मैं नहीं बोल रही हूँ. In case you think ma'am is criticizing, I am not criticizing. Gurudev said that pilgrimage is a nimna koti ki sadhana. A lot of people just take it for fun. They take it as a tourist kind of a thing. क्योंकि चलो वहाँ होके आते हैं, बड़ा मजा आएगा. Have you heard people saying? बड़ा अच्छा लगेगा, बड़ा मजा आएगा. They go for that. वहां तो आप 2 मिनट के लिए हाथ जोड़ के खड़े होते हैं and say that you can do at your local temple or in the temple inside your house. हाँ, so it's a very निम्न कोटि की साधना. Similarly, निम्न कोटि की साधना, मध्य कोटि and उच्च कोटि. Okay, so निर्गुण सगुण question was a madhya koti ki sadhana. And here what is he asking? He is asking a very high question of philosophy. This is not easy. This is a very big thing in Vedanta, Kshetrajna. One has to understand that Purusha cannot function on his own. He has no power, just like electricity. Can electricity function on its own? No. It has to come in contact with an equipment for it to function. That is why what do? You plug it in. When you put a plug in a socket, you are making the equipment take contact with electricity. So electricity is not doing, but by its mere contact, it charges the equipment to act. Similarly, the matter equipment of the body, the whole body, dissect it and see what it is. You know very well what it is. छोटा सा भी काटो कहीं, what do you get? Blood, flesh, skin, bones, marrow. What else? All these put in a bundle somewhere. Can they speak? Can they walk? Can they think intelligently? Nothing. Even the brain of the biggest scientist cannot come out with a single small idea if it is not connected to that great grand power. Understand these two things very, very clearly. Prakriti is matter, Purusha is the power that supplies Prakriti. So we have the concept of Ardhanarishwara that Gurudev has written in his commentary also. Ardhanarishwara, people in the West say, look at your God. What kind of a God? Half woman, half man. Shiva ka roop, Ardhanarishwar ka. All our statues depict a great philosophical truth. Even the pose in which they stand has a meaning, very deep. There's a lot of depth. They are all representing some philosophical truth. So you have to know that. And then knowing this Ardhanarishwar Shiva is just depicting this Prakriti Purush. The Lord does not function, he does not act. Again and again in the Geeta, which is the soul of the Upanishads, he has said, I do not do anything. He has said, I am not the actor. हाँ, तो ये देखिए यहाँ पर अर्धनारीश्वर रूप यही है that Prakriti, when connected to Purusha, can act. Otherwise, Prakriti has no power to act. Purusha also has no power to act. But when they come together in a wedlock, action takes place. This you have to clearly understand. And if you think that you are only the if you think that you are only the matter, if you think you are only the body, then all the sorrows of the body, mind, and intellect will accrue to you. Like when you are a dreamer, all the sorrows of a dreamer are the dreamers, aren't they? Which waker will cry about his dead wife in the dream? The waker only finds a great relief. Oh my God, thank God it was just a dream. Similarly, matter has no reality. Matter and all that relates to matter has no reality of its own. You give it the reality. You give it the quality. Even to your own experiences. I have said again and again that to all experiences, you are the one that gives them the quality of joy or sorrow. Till you don't understand it as sorrow, it is not a sorrow. A student who was not interested in studying, but a very intelligent student, the teachers were waiting for that student to get a first division. I'm talking of when I was in college. At that time, a first division was quite a thing, and people got it with great difficulty. Only very bright students got it. Hmm? And not marks like 99% and all that. Although I don't know what it is about. Anyway, so that student missed the first division by a point something, not even 1 mark, point something. Very happy. Look, what good marks I got, because he was not expecting those good marks. He thought that he'll be somewhere in the middle rung of the ladder. When he got that, he was delighted. But when he went to college, all the teachers said, oh my God, how sad we are. You know, we all expected a first division from you, and you just missed it by point. This is the saddest thing that could happen. So he quickly wiped the smile off his face and he said that, no, I'm supposed to look sad rather than happy. So he started looking sad. Aap socho. It is a quality of the mind. है ना? Somebody's boyfriend left her and went and married some third person. She may think that, thank God, he's off my back. Thank God, good riddance to such a person. And somebody may cry about it. It are two different reactions of the mind. Two, you were expecting happiness from that individual. So when that individual leaves, you think individual left, happiness left. That is not true. Such an individual, some person may think that such an individual is not capable of giving me happiness. See how miserable that person himself is. The person is not sad. It is the reaction of the mind that creates happiness or unhappiness. It does not exist in the outside world. You have wrongfully pinned happiness on something which is incapable of giving you happiness, because the happiness does not exist there. You are looking in the wrong place. So, whose fault is it? My son, my dog, my house, my earring, my necklace. We project happiness on that. So they gain the power to whip you. You yourself lend them the whip and then you cry. So established in the established in the kshetragnya, not in the kshetra, you become immune to sorrow. Now, देखो, example given is of a bucket filled with water. It's a bucket filled with water. Now take it like this. देखो, your tanmatra or your body, physical gross body, is the bucket. Acha, take it like this. I'm just giving you an example. Your body is the bucket. The water that is filled in the body is the mind. Okay? The water that is filled in the bucket is the mind. And the sun's reflection on the water is pure consciousness. Okay. So the consciousness lends its qualities to the water. The water shines like the sun. Yes, you cannot even look at it. The water gets heated up. Heat is not the quality of the water. So the sun is lending its quality to the water. So light and heat is added by the sun to a reflecting surface. Okay, empty the surface. The subtle body, that is the mind and intellect, has left the body. When a body dies, the mind and intellect, which is called the subtle body, is separated from the body. So the reflecting surface has gone. When the reflecting surface has gone, neither that the mind has any power or energy, nor the body has any power and energy, because the reflecting surface is no more. The reflecting surface is subtle, it has evaporated. Once you understand this, what energizes the body, then thereafter you do not anyway feel sorry. Now, देखो, pure knowledge is always with you. You are the knower. So establish yourself in the knower. How are you the knower? देखो, even when you enter a dark room, do you see darkness or not? Carefully. All the eye doctors tell you that vision is possible only in reflected light. है ना? There is no light in that room. Then how do you see darkness? You say, na, I see all dark. Okay. Now supposing this specs is kept here. Now what do you see? You say, I see a spectacle. ठीक है ना? Abhi when I remove it, you say, I see nothing. How do you see nothing? Even the capacity to recognize that there is nothing there is a capacity which the body does not have. The eye does not have that capacity. It is flesh. understand the knower that is lending the eye the capacity to see. The seer is not the seen, and this in the middle is the equipment which is energized to see. I am giving you example after example to make it clear to you that the seer is something other. So the Lord by wants to turn Arjuna's attention to his inner self to know who is the seer. Come to the second verse. श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमृत्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः. The body, O Kaunteya, Arjuna, son of Kunti, is called the field. He who knows it, who knows the body, is called Kshetragnya, knower of the field. By those who know them, Kshetra and Kshetragnya, that is the sages. Though the sages know it very clearly that this is Kshetra and this is Kshetragnya. Okay, now just one. This verse has got a beautiful dissection of the Kshetra and Kshetragnya, which I have already explained to you through examples. Now, this this chapter does not deal with what the last chapter dealt with. Last chapter was about values, and it was at a very different level. Do you see this chapter? This chapter is connecting that and thou. How are the two related? And this is what this verse is also expecting. Insentient matter, matter that has got no life, matter that is dead wood, gains sentiency. It looks like alive, just like in a dream. Your mind lends a sentiency to the dream. Where is the dream? Tell me. Any reality. How real it seems. Similarly, matter has got no power. The only power lent to it is through pure consciousness. Again and again, I am repeating the same thing. Teachers tend to repeat till it really goes down into your subjective self and it becomes part of you. It is an imaginary world of matter and has no existence at all. Dekho, Gurudev has given two examples over here. Steam engine. Steam engine का क्या है? What can steam do? On its own, what can steam do? Pass through a certain equipment. It lends force and power to the engine, huge, big, heavy, black iron engine to move. When a huge black engine is stationary and there is no water boiling or steam in it, does it have any power? The steam by itself can't do anything. The engine by itself can't do anything. Put together through a steam engine, when steam is put through, powerful steam is put through a steam engine, only then the engine works. Similarly, your entire body mind and intellect. The intellect will have no idea. Don't think I'm very brilliant. Don't think it is my idea. I started this new project. सारी doership खत्म हो जाती है in 1 second. In 1 second, the body drops dead. It's like a switch off. Haven't you heard of people giving a speech and falling dead there? He was okay, perfectly all right. People playing cards, and there are 4 people sitting, and this person is not playing the card. So when it's turn, they say, "Your turn." They shake him like that because he is already dead with the cards in his hand. The equipment has no power. He cannot pull out that one card and throw it. Gone. And then we say, we never expected. How did you not expect? Why did you not expect? Didn't you already know that this is matter? And the matter can fall any time. It has no power of its own. Just no power of any sort it has. Therefore, in that chapter, you remember, the Lord has gone on where he, Vibhuti Yoga chapter, where he goes on saying, I am the brilliance of the brilliant. I am the beautiful beauty of the beautiful. I am the intelligence of the intelligent. Otherwise, the brain has no intelligence. The brain has no intelligence whatsoever, no matter whose brain it is. The wickedness of a politician, the criminality of a criminal is all him, because the power is lent by him. Now, idhar dekho. Objectless consciousness, that is what he's telling you all about. The objectless consciousness, even when you say, I know, no matter what you know, maybe there is no object, but when you say, I know, you say, I have guessed it, I have intuitively understood it. How? It's not there. Physically, it's not there. Somebody hasn't told you that he loves you. When the girl says, I have understood, how has she understood? Through that principle of knowledge which is lent by the Lord. These days, a lot of people say, vibes, aura, this, that, and the other. How? How do you feel the vibes? Good vibes, bad vibes? Yes, there are, because you feel them. If you can't feel them, there is nothing. Good vibes in a temple or bad vibes in a pub. How do you feel them? Atmosphere in touch with the knower principle alone will even make you feel the vibes. The knowledge of the unseen, even imagination, is possible because of him. So we'll leave it here this time, and next time we will do the third verse. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.